So get set go. But before we start, let us see what we have learned so far. We have learned that computer makes our work easy. Does it make our work easy? Yes, yes. We have learned that by using computers, we can do our work more quickly, more accurately, and it is just error-free work. Moreover, children, we know computers can perform all our calculations no matter how big these calculations are. And we have also studied different parts that are attached to the computer. Do you remember them? Correct. That is input device, output device, and a processing device as well. What are these input, output, and processing device? You have studied in the previous classes. So, taking our journey ahead, we come to a new topic, that is hardwares and software. So, children, basically the computer is collection of different parts. What are these parts? Mainly, computer is made up of two parts. One is hardware, see the spelling, hardware, and another is software. So we are going to take them one after another. When you talk about hardware, hardware is anything that you could touch in the computer, right? That you can just touch and feel the thing exists there. So we say that all physical parts of the computer that you can touch or feel are hardware. So can you quickly name some of the things in the computer that you could touch? Correct. Monitor. What else? Keyboard? Yes. Amazing answer. Oh, mouse. Wonderful. CPU. A long list to go. Correct. We have keyboard, monitor, mouse, printer, speakers. These all are called hardware. Understood? Now, we also have a CPU and the things inside CPU, that is hard disk and even the chips, the motherboard, all these are the components of hardware. Is it clear? Just show me your thumbs up. Good going. Now, we will just understand what all things comprises the hardware. So, any input device attached to the computer is a hardware. Any processing device which you have attached to your system, again it is a hardware. Output devices also are hardware. And yes, correct. The storage devices are also hardware. So come on, can you name some of them? Come on, let's name some input devices. Input devices are, you have studied it. Come on, in the previous class you learned about it. Keyboard, good going. Okay, one each this time. Then processing devices, CPU, very good, amazingly good. And what is the output device? What did you say? I didn't hear it. Oh, monitor, lovely, lovely. And when you talk about the storage device, your pen drives, yes. Every time you used to carry them with your music, isn't it? That's the storage device. So, let's see them in detail here. We are starting with different input devices which are attached to the computer, and the first one we take is the keyboard. So when you talk about input devices, the devices which are used to give some instructions, some data to the computer, we say it is the input device. And keyboard is the most commonly used keyboard device, input device, sorry, in the computer. So with the help of this keyboard, you type your instructions, you give numbers, you give alphabets, you give special commands, and this is the keyboard which provides all the raw data to the computer system. And do you know what is the name given to this keyboard? We say it is the QWERTY keyboard. QWERTY. Say with me, QWERTY. And from where this QWERTY word has come, I'll just tell you. If you look at the keyboard, the first 6 alphabets, Q, W, E, R, T, Y. These 6 alphabets are the starting 6 alphabets of the keyboard. So we say it is QWERTY keyboard. Interesting? Show me your thumbs up quickly. Yay! Shall we move further? Okay. We come to new device that is used for inputting. That's mouse. So mouse is another input device which we all use. It is a basic pointing device with which you could point anything on the screen of the monitor, right? And the mouse looked something like this. Okay, so your very friendly instrument, mouse, is a input device. Remember this every time, right? And then we come to another input device, that is scanner. Children, scanner is basically a device which is used to capture some images or the posters which you want to print, or you want to store it in the computer memory. Okay, and basically we have 3 types of scanners. So look here, we have flatbed scanner, then we have sheet fed scanner, in which we keep on putting the sheets one after another, and then the third one is called handheld scanner. And we'll be learning about these different types of scanners in the later classes. And now we come to another input device. Could you read it? Yes, that's called web camera. What do you say it? Web camera. And it looks something like this. Camera, yes. Clicking the pictures, clicking the photograph, rightly guessed. So we use it for capturing the shoots of the videos or the photos, and these are stored in the computer. We could edit them, we could use them in the later time whenever you require it. That's the use of web camera. And this web camera is also used for video chatting, video conferencing, right? So coming to your most loved one input device, rightly said, this is joystick. You all use them for playing the games on your computer, right? Now we move further and we reach to light pen. Children, light pen, I don't know whether some of you have seen it or not. It looks like ordinary pen. It's here, right? And it could be used on a special pad. So when you want to write, it works like a pen. Like I'm highlighting with this pen, and it is used to write on the monitor. As you could see, I'm writing here something, input device. Okay. So this is one of the input device which we use to write on the screen on the computer. Okay. Then we come on microphone. This microphone is related to sound and it looks like this. So that means when you have to transfer the voice to the computer, could you see a microphone here? Correct. It is here with me. See? Yes. This is a microphone. And we use this microphone to put the voice in the computer system, right? And we call it another input device. So, you know, Very important fact I'm going to tell you here, that whenever the computers are made, different companies make computers, and Intel is the world's largest processing company. So you love to go for Intel processors when you are going to buy the computer. Okay? Then we have a touch screen. Touch screen is you touch the screen and without using the keyboard, without using any other input device, pointing device, pen, mouse, your work is done simply by touching the screen. So that is called a touch screen, and it is a special type of screen which is very sensitive, and you could work on the screen simply by touching it. You could get all the work of the computer done by it. Like suppose I'm touching the screen and I get another screen of my PPT here. Okay, is it clear? Now, second thing is, we have all learned about input device so far. We come to the second type of devices which are called processing devices. Say with me, processing device, right? So, what are processing device? The device which are part of computer hardware, and it is used to manipulate some data in the computer, and we just get all the processing done by it. Okay? Have you heard of the word CPU? Correct. It's Central Processing Unit. Very nicely said. So, CPU, that is Central Processing Unit, is the processing device which is attached to the computer. Like every computer has a processing device, and that is the reason computer is really working for you, right? So when you give the data to the computer, this is only the CPU which does processing, and then you get your desired output from the computer, right? Now we are going to see that what are the main parts which are actually existing inside the CPU. So we first go to ALU. ALU stands for Arithmetical and Logical Unit. So what is arithmetic? Word means arithmetic is all mathematical calculations. And when you talk about logical, logical means which help you to give a decision, think, yes, no, that sort of thing. So every arithmetical and logical calculation is done in this ALU. Okay, so that's why we call it ALU. After this, we come to the second part of your processing unit, which is control unit. So what is the work of control unit? It controls the working of entire computer system. Like suppose you are providing the raw data to the computer. So computer has a control unit which will just check that whether some mathematical calculations or some logical calculations are to be done in it, and it is going to take that particular raw data to ALU. So it is just controlling the flow of your data, taking it to ALU, getting all the work done by the computer, and then it brings it back. Where the data comes back? The data comes back to the memory of the computer. So when you type the data, when you give the raw data, it reaches the memory. That's another part of the processing unit. And when the data has to process, so control unit has the entire work of carrying the data to ALU, get the work done, and then the data comes back to the memory of the computer, where it is stored until it is required again for certain outputs. Is it clear? So time to show your thumbs up once again. Yay! Now we move further and we come to output unit. Ready? So children, what are output unit, output devices? So output devices are the devices which we use to get the result, to get the final output when the entire work is done by the computer. Okay, so most commonly used output device. What is it? Tell me. Correct. That's called monitor. We also call it VDU. That's Visual Display Unit. Right? So, we say that VDU is the most commonly used output device. And we have different types of monitors, children. So it could be your LCD monitor, that is liquid crystal display. Then we have another monitor, we call it CRT. That's cathode ray tube. Okay. Then we have LED, light emitting diode. LED types of screens are there. And we also have TFT. Have you heard of TFT screens? Yes, that means thin film transistor. So today you are going to go just check in your house what type of screens do you have, and you are going to share it with your parents, the full form of them, that what is LCD, what is LED, what is TFT, because you have only heard about the words and we have elaborated it today in the session. Okay, so we move ahead and we come to next output device, that is called printer. So children, till now whatever output you were talking that was coming on the monitor was entirely soft. What is the meaning of soft output? Soft output means it's only displayed on the screen, and when you just move the screen, scroll the screen, another output comes. But at times what happens, you want the hard copy and the solid copy of whatever comes on the screen, right? So for that we require printers. So that output could be taken on the printer, on the paper with the help of printer, right? So these printed copies are called the hard copies. And we come across different types of printers. The very old pattern of printer, dot matrix, you might not have even seen it. It used to work slowly, slowly. And then we have inkjet printers, which works with the ink inside it. And then we have laser printer. Laser printer are quite fast and they give very nice outputs. Okay, so we move further now, and another set of output devices are here for you. We have speakers, another output device which is very commonly used output device and connected to our computer with a sound card, right? So it produces sound. So these are the speakers. You all have speakers attached to your computer system, and the role of these speakers is to produce the voice. Okay, are you understanding? Come on, time to show your thumbs up. Yay! So we come to another output device. What is it? Right, we call it plotter. And children, plotter has a special purpose. You know, when you have to, even the architects work on big drawings. We have large drawings, or like we have to draw some maps, some designs of the houses, some posters, banners. So this output device that's called plotter is basically used by engineers, by different architects and scientists also. When you want entire good quality, very fine quality of output, then we go for plotters instead of going for simple printers. Understood? Great. So now we move further, and it's the time for you to speak out. Well, okay, one thing is left, the types of plotters we have. So we have drum plotters, one category of plotter, and we also have flat bed plotters. Okay, so let's work on some of the input devices you have learned so far. Could you name them? Input devices, yes. Light pen, good, good. Keyboard, very nice. Mouse, wonderful, wonderful. That means you understood. Great going. So moving ahead, we come to another very, very important topic, that is storage device. So children, what do you understand by the word storage? Storage means which could store something, storing something for the future. Imagine you have given some raw data to the computer, and this raw data get processed, we get the output, and where is the output going? Yes, the output goes in the computer memory, and it stays there in the memory of the computer until we ask for it. So when you ask for the output, it goes to the output device. Now we have certain secondary storage which are actually storing that data in the computer. So very important storage device that is attached to your computer every time is called hard disk. And hard disk is fixed inside the computer. So it stores all the work that you are actually doing in the computer. All your softwares are stored in the computer, and that exists in this hard disk. Sometimes it happens that you have to carry your work from one computer to another computer. Now what to do? Another difficulty. But we have solution to all difficulties, right? So we look for some another storage device which is handy. So here comes the solution. We have CDs and DVDs. So these are the images of CDs and DVDs. Basically, CD stands for a compact disc which could store the data outside the computer. In the same way, we have DVD. So word DVD stands for digital versatile disk. So both of them are used to carry data from one computer to another computer, but your DVDs have more storage capacity in compared to ordinary CD, right? So time to show your thumbs up. Come on. Yay. Moving ahead with our journey. Here we go with another storage device that's called pen drive. Pen drive or flash drive. You have seen these pen drives, very commonly used output, the storage instrument, and it is very small, compact, could store lot of data for you, right? And it is very easily handled. So handy storage device which you could trust along. Okay. Now we come to softwares. Children, what are softwares? So till now we were studying about different types of hardware, right? Your input devices, all these are the peripherals. We also give the name peripheral devices to them. So after learning about different type of hardwares which are attached to the computer, we come to a new term, that is software. Say with me, software. Okay. So what is actually software? It is the collection of instructions that can run on the computer. So see, computer doesn't have a brain. Remember this. Computer is a smart machine, but it always works on your instructions. So whenever you give the instructions to the computer, these instructions are given in the form of programs, and these programs together form a software. And these softwares are of two types. One is system software and another is application software. What is it? system software and application software. Good. So we'll understand what is a system software first. System software are the programs that actually control the functioning of the computer. Like operating systems are very common system software. So without system software, you cannot provide initial intelligence to the computer, and computer is not ready to work for you until it has a system software. So if you only have a computer, a monitor, a CPU, a keyboard, a mouse, everything is there, but there is no operating system, it will not work for you. Understood? So system software is so important for a system to provide the initial working capacity to the computer. This thing has to be remembered. Got it? And the very commonly system softwares, your system must be having Windows 10, then Unix is there, Mac operating system is there, Linux is there. All these are commonly used operating systems. We'll be learning about them in the upcoming classes in detail. So we move to application software. Another type of software is, say with me, application software. Right? What is it? Application software. Now, what are application softwares? As the name tells, that application software helps you to fulfill any particular requirement, any particular application, and they help the system software to do any specific work. Like we all have worked on MS Paint. So what is the role of MS Paint? Yes, rightly said, we draw, we color, we make different shapes. So that means we say MS Paint is used for drawing. Similarly, if you work on MS Word, it is used for writing some documents, doing corrections in it, taking multiple copies of it and whatnot. Okay, so all these things are called application software. Now imagine you have to do some calculations, and they are such big calculations, you need to take the help of what? Yes, calculator. So calculator is one of the application which is doing a specific work of doing calculations, counting, adding, subtracting, multiplication and whatnot. But only a specific work is done. MS Paint is doing a specific work of painting. Calculator is doing another specific work, that is of doing calculation. So we call them application softwares. Understood? So now is your time to do the exercise and see what all has been done so far. Okay? So your time, look here, do this exercise, take it as homework, no worries. Now, just a small activity we'll be doing. You have to sort these devices and place them in the correct column. So just tell me which of them are input device and which of them are output device. Printer, what is it? Yes, it is output device. And scanner, we used to scan the thing and send to the computer. Correct. So it becomes input device. Monitor, output, rightly said. And what we have next? Speaker, again output device. Good going. Mouse, input, becoming so smart, lovely. We write mouse here. You are rightly saying it. What is microphone? Yes, correct. Again, it is a input device. And keyboard is also input device. Plotter, we get the advanced output on it. You remember we compared plotter and the printer. So it is again a output device. Joystick. Oh, games came in your mind, right? Playing games, it is input device. And this light pen also, again another input device, which is writing on the computer screen. So we write light pen here. Great learning, wonderfully done. But before saying goodbye, let's recall our learning. What we have learned today in the session. Correctly said, what is a computer? An electronic device which can do lot of work. And the physical parts which are attached to the computer, we call them hardware. Software, you could simply just remember in the mind anything that is inside the computer and you cannot touch it. So that all is the software of the computer. So software are the set of instructions which help the computer to run, right? And storage devices. What are storage devices? The device which stores your data that could be used in the future. Then we come to CPU, that is Central Processing Unit. It is the processing device attached to your computer system. And then we have the two types of software. One is the system software, another is the application software. So system softwares are basically used to control and operate the entire working of the computer system. And when you talk about application softwares, they help you to do a specific work inside the computer. Correct? And that's all for today. See you in the next class. Happy learning. Bye-bye.